If one of your goals for 2026 is to get into the gym or to get into fitness, generally build some sort of healthy habits, then this video is for you. Here are some training tips for beginners and probably for everyone else really to help you get through the year. Number one, motivation does not last. So if you're feeling really motivated now, that is awesome, make the most of it, but just know it's not going to carry you through the whole year. And what you need to do, especially in this time that you are feeling motivated, is set yourself up with some really solid structures to like hold you into those fitness habits. So what does that look like? Things like treating yourself to a really cute gym outfit, cute shoes, but also leaving your shoes by the door so it's easier to like go for that run or go to the gym. It's signing up with a coach or to a club that has classes so you can go and train with other people, so you've got some sort of accountability. Having something in your diary really makes a massive difference. So maybe that's meeting your coach for your session or going to your class for your session, but it could also be like going for a run with a friend, so then it becomes a social activity, or going to the gym with a friend, again, social activity. Making it so that you have other things kind of counting on you to do it. I always put my sessions into my diary the same as I do with all of my work and other engagements that I have to do in the day, and writing it down in there means that I'm making sure that I always have time to do it. I can't do anything else because I've already blocked it out. It's not gonna get away from me. Stuff like that really makes a massive difference, especially if you're at the beginning of your training journey where maybe you are still figuring out where training's gonna go when it's not like an automatic thing for you to do yet. So stuff like that is really, really helpful. Number two, we are the stories that we tell ourselves. So that means if you want to be a person who is fit and healthy, you have to start thinking of yourself as that fit and healthy person. You have to start behaving in the way that the person you want to be behaves. So that's things like, I am a gym person. Look at me, I'm a gym bro. Or I am a runner. It's thinking, changing the way you think really makes a big difference. And if you keep saying, oh, I can't do it, oh, this is in the way, that is in the way, all of that stuff is stopping you. And I know it sounds a bit woo-woo, but honestly, it really does make a big difference. You just have to believe that you are this person. So then what that means is when something comes up that means you're not getting the session in that you plan to get in, or like the session doesn't go to plan what you wanted it to be, it doesn't derail you because it doesn't actually matter that much, because it's just like one session in an ocean of sessions, right? Just that little drop. But if you keep saying, oh, I'm trying to be more healthy, or I'm trying to get fit, you're not that person yet. You're the person who's trying to do it. And that's much easier for you to end up tapping out of. So I want you to really think about the way you speak about yourself, the way you speak about your story, because it really does make a difference in how you then behave. Think about who you want to be and just do the things that that person would do. So for instance, I want to be a fit and healthy person. I want to be a gym bro. What do gym bros do? Well, they go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. Okay, I am going to go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. I am a person who goes to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. Boom. Now, that's just who I am. Obviously, it takes a little bit longer than boom, but hopefully you get the idea. Of this is also setting yourself goals that are small and achievable, like really small. So look, it's cool to have big, lofty goals, right? Especially if you're someone who's like motivated by grandeur. But sometimes what happens is maybe the goal is I want to run a marathon. You run the marathon, you never run again. Done, completed. Or the goal is to run a marathon and then the pressure of having to run a marathon is too much and you just don't do it. You don't train for it and it's awful. That can happen sometimes, depending on how your brain works. So what is more helpful, or at least not instead of, but at least alongside, is to set process goals, small goals along the way. So along the way goals could be 5K, 10K, half marathon, right? But it could also be like, I am going to run X times a week. I'm going to run X miles a week. So then each week and each session, you're getting this little tick in this I am this person category. So every time you do it, that's a win. That's that little dopamine hit. That's the thing that helps you come back and do it again next time. If the goal is too far away, then it doesn't really matter how many things you've done, because it still feels far away. And it's easy to start letting missed things get in the way. But if the goal is to just do the things, it's much easier to then do them and get to the place that you're going to. So think about the things that are going to help you along the way to whatever these bigger goals are. 3, this is probably more important than anyone gives it credit for, especially at the beginning when you're trying to establish some sort of pattern of behavior. It's to make it fun. Do things that you enjoy. Do stuff that gives you that dopamine hit. If you hate yoga, you don't have to go to a yoga class. You can go do something else. If you hate running but you really like playing football, that's a great way for you to get some cardio in. Just go and play football. What you need to do is something that's fun enough that you're going to do it again. Maybe playing football isn't as optimal as going to the gym in terms of building any strength, but it's more optimal than you not doing anything because you hate it. So you have to figure out what it is that you want. And once you've established some routines, it's much easier then to start adding in the more optimal stuff, right? The stuff that you need to make sure that you're hitting all of those bases. But you don't want to think about hitting all the bases right from the start. When the hard bit is just doing it, you need to figure out the easiest way to make you do it. And that is making the goals easy and achievable and making it fun so that you're excited, that you're looking forward to it. Something I did last year, to basically brainwash myself into thinking that I enjoyed running, because running's never really been my jam, was I started listening to audiobooks. And initially I would only listen to the audiobook while I was running. So if it was a really good book, something that really gripped me, what happened was I started to look forward to my runs. I have never been a person that looked forward to running before, but it worked because I wanted to know what happened next. So then I was excited to know what happened next. And then that meant that every time I had a run coming up, I felt that sense of excitement. Now the excitement was for the book, but it was the same because the book and the running, they became the same. Finding stuff like that can be really useful if you can figure out what the thing that motivates you is. It will make everything much easier. Because if it's a slog the whole time, it's really, really hard to convince yourself to keep going unless you're the kind of person who just enjoys suffering, which is a useful skill, honestly, if you want to be a good athlete. But if, like me, you're just a regular person who's trying to be fitter and healthier and live to a big old age still independent, then you just need to figure out how to get things done. A big part of that is making it more fun for you personally. And what's fun for me and what's fun for you, it might not look the same. And what's fun for you and what's fun for your mate, again, might not look the same. So you've got to spend some time working out what that means for you. And part of that is just exploring different things and playing. Grown-ups don't play enough, honestly. Spend more time playing. 3 quick little tips for you to get started with these New Year's resolutions or just new goals in general. One final thought is, if it's possible, if you can, spending money on something makes it much more likely that you're going to stick to it for longer. Maybe not necessarily if you have ADHD. I must admit, I do have the apparatus for a lot of hobbies that I do not currently do. But sometimes it really works. And if you don't want to waste your money that you've already spent, you may as well do the thing that you've paid for, right? So that might be a coach or a class or whatever. Cute outfit. May as well get your money's worth. So something to think about. And if you have any questions about getting started as a beginner in the gym or about getting into a new training modality or a new sport or whatever, let me know in the comments and I'll see you soon.